สวัสดีครับ This is Ongpor. Nice to see every one of you here, and thank you very much for support my channel, Ongpor, Spiritual Guide. And for those of you who first time come in here, and this is my first day of trying to do the live broadcast. I hope that every one of you can hear my voice and my broadcast very well. And I really hope that you guys will be typing your name and your location. Let me know where are you from. I would be very happy to know where my audience are from. So we have 4 people coming in today, and we are trying to wait for some more people. But today I am trying to tell you about why do we need to find the spiritual path. Because spiritual path, we cannot see our spirits. We cannot see beyond one life. Why do we need to study something that we cannot see beyond our lives? Right? A lot of people ask these questions. And a lot of people also ask, do I really have one life? Or what happens when we die? Right? So if we have one life, we will behave one way. If we know that our life has something beyond that, we will behave in another way. If there are consequences in what we do in this life that ripple across to the next one, we will be thinking twice. If there are the next one, there will be the past one. So what have we done in the past that caused our trouble in this life? So there are a lot of things that we need to use our time and our own research to do it right. I will be trying to helping you to understand step by step of the law of karma. And there are, if these things are true, and a lot of people in the Western world, these things will be very foreign or very new to you, but with this kind of knowledge, you can find it all around. It has nothing to do with religion anyway, because all of these incident of the reincarnations happens to every location geographically in the world. So you can study through yourself, you can study through the people around you or the story around you, so it makes us curious if there are really an eternity of life. Spirit is an eternal element. Whether we believe it or not, we are eternal. But our body is not eternal. The universe has given us very short chances to run the story and the decisions of our lives, and it gives us only average of 70 to 80 years, and we will move on from this life to the next one. So what is dear to you in this life, you cannot carry on. The rule is you can't even carry on your loved one, your home, or even your clothing, or even your body that you live with it for the past 70 years. Nothing you can bring with you, but something that we can bring with us, because the spirit is a memory. They exist in form of memory. We call it the knowing element. It collects what you know in this life. It collects why we call knowing. Why don't we call knowledge? It is not a knowledge. You can know something wrong. It collects the wrong knowing. it collects the behaviors, it collects the feelings. These collections is the collections that given a drive to the spirits. Spirit needs drive, and spirit were driven by its own desire, and the spirit was driven by feelings. So when you feels good about something, the spirit feel excited. So spirit are much more powerful than anything else. So to make the spirit understand, it needs intelligence. So once the spirit dwell in the human life forms, we are intelligent being. With this intelligence, we can teach our spirits to find the truth, because the spirit is the knowing element. They have no boundary. They have no time that control them. They have no distance. They can go anywhere, in and out of space in this world and out to something that they want to go. So with just only the spirit, it has no containment. With the intelligent life form, we contain our spirit to scope beyond, not to go beyond the reach, so that our mind, our intelligence can focus on what we are scoping. For example, we look at the telephone. The telephone is within the reach. So we study and we put the focus on the telephone, do not focus on something that beyond the reach. For example, if you were thinking about your girlfriend or your boyfriend, right? But they are not here. So the mind is wandering further beyond the reach. And those further beyond the reach is not productive. It just gives us a pleasure of thinking about it. But once you have a conscience within a mind, and a mind create the structure of intelligence, it will focus on only the thing within the reach. So the thing within the reach will slowly pave the way to give reason for us to know how to walk, to know how to find the path, right? So the small path, once it put together, it will pave the way to the longer path. So this is within a life. So once we were successful, slowly we become successful step by step within a life, then a lot of people start to ask, what if without a life? Can we even pave any way towards that path? Is there any path anymore that we cannot see? It is hard to believe that when we die, we just disappear and become earth and nothing else, right? So how do we find the proof? Because if we believe in human as a scientific matter or objects, yeah, we have a body, we have face, we have a gender. So many people in this world have the same kind of humanoid forms. But why this same kind of humanoid forms does not bring the knowledge that comes with it so differently? Why do we have some kind of behavior innate inside us so differently? Even we born in the same family, the same father and mother, and even we born as a twin. Why we do not have the same kind of mentality and thinking or morale or behaviors? These are our past behavior reactivate in us. So the behavior is one thing, right? But one thing that is very interesting is Why do we have some kind of talent innate within us too? Some kids know how to play piano, know how to play guitar. Even they don't have anyone to teach them. They just found this kind of instrument and they start to learn how to play quickly by itself, by the children itself. And why don't any other children do the same thing? It is because your knowledge from the past reactivate once you have a new life. So this is how we are proving that something that we bring with us, it means that we bring with us, if we can bring something from the past life with us, it means that we can also carry something forward. So this is the area that we are going to focus on. If we can carry something forward, it means that we have the structure of the future. So if we have a structure of the future, we can slowly try to find what else can we bring into the future. So this is your skill. Your skill. What is skill anyway? The skill is the redundancy of your body command your muscle. In scientists, we call the muscular memory. So if your mind command your body to do some kind of skill redundantly until you die, and those skills become innate in your spiritual memory, and that will reactivate in your next life as your talents. So at this point, you will be able to see that so skill can carry on. So what else? There are also people that success more than the other. Some people success so easily, although they are not as smart as us, right? But why they are so easily successful? Why somebody try very hard in their life and they do not become successful? They can just try, but they cannot. They met the wrong people. They don't have any resource. They have a lot of obstacle in their lives. In the law of karma, we call the merit force. What is merit force? In your life, you are struggling, you want to help yourself, but helping yourself is hard enough. And why can we need to help others? Merit force is about helping others. It's about sharing our ability to the other people. The ability in what we have in life. Why do we have to do that? We need to do that because we are a higher form of being. We are not animal. We learn how to live in the community. We learn how to love family. We learn how to share within the family. And once we learn how, once this share grows, it will grow towards community. So we are the creature of learning how not to be selfish. So this is why humanity is higher than other form of creature in the surface of the earth. So we have the capability to build and to work together to form something bigger, to invent something that is much more advanced. That is why these kind of life forms is having a capability to create something good for the world. This is called the knowing element. Because of it is a knowing element, it will continue to know. So although you do not remember once you come back, you cannot remember the story of your past life, but you can bring in your muscular memory. You can bring in the merit force which were created from from the things that you do, and people feel grateful to you, and those gratefulness become the drop of your merit force. It is called the soul bonding. So the soul that you bonded with any soul across the society, that you behave good to them, their gratefulness is the drop of true and pure merit. You don't need to have a big amount of money to create the merit force. Even when you are very poor, you can see that the people who are so hungry, but you have only one a piece of a cookie, for example. So you can break the cookie in half. You are also hungry. The boy is also hungry, but the boy, you don't know them. But you have the compassionate and share that half of your cookie. Do you know that half of the cookie is very powerful merit force? You share half of your wealth in your life at that very time, and that is the greatest, one of the greatest merit in your life. You don't need to share, but you decided to share anyway. That is the one of the most powerful merit that you have shown. In time of crisis, you can share. So that is the time that we prove ourselves that we are worthy, and all those gratefulness of the things that you have been created around you. Slowly each drop become, a jar of merit. If you produce a drop of merit every day until the end of your life, a jar might be a pond. And if you have the merit, it will work like a magnetic force inside of your karma, that it will pull in luck and success. It will punch hole into the time that all this alignment of meeting good people, meeting good opportunity, meeting good ideas, at the right time, right place, and right environment, and the right resource, everything will punch a hole and create a short time frame for your success. So everything is of your success comes from the story of your own merit force. So believe or not believe, if you learn how to share, there is nothing wrong there. There are only persons who praise you. You don't need to be super rich like Mr. Bill Gates or any billionaires or millionaires on earth to know how to share. No, you don't need to. You don't need to be that kind of people. Even those kind of people, some of the millionaires, they never share. They never do that. It means that they have done their good merit in their past, and when they sit on their deposit of their merit force, they exploit it. They did not bring forth into the future. It's like they are withdrawing the money from their merit bank every day until the day they die. They use all their merit force, and in the next cycle, it will come back to poverty again. So these things teach us that we have the path. Spirit has consequences. Our action create reaction. It cannot be our action cannot die down. our actions will ripple across time. Law of karma does not care. It has all the time in the universe to come back to us. And why it's come back to us? To punish us or to reward us? It is not about punish or reward. It's about the knowing element. It will give the knowing element the perspective of things around them. For example, if we do bad things to the other people, and unknowingly we don't think that this is a bad thing. We have our own reason to do things, right? But all these reasons hurts other people. So you will reborn in the next one. Other people will have their reason, but their good reason hurts you. You understand what I mean? We are, because of our limited perspective of lives, make us take advantage of other people unknowingly. Once we grow again, we come back again, this seed, because it's a knowing element, it has ability to learn the other side of feelings. Spirit driven by feelings. You feel hurt, you feel pain, you feel disappointed. You feel you're being bullied. Because once upon a time, we have done something like this to other people. That is why the new perspective keep on, reinforce us until we learn the perspective of the bigger pictures. We learn how to understand other people's thought. We might be upset. We might be feeling mad at other people. We want to have a revenge. Yeah, you will have your revenge. What they do is what they get. What you do is what you get. Karma cannot be deleted. It cannot be exempted. It's not possible. Unless one thing, one party understand how to let go, how to forgive. The whole thing keep on pushing our life towards let go and forgiveness. So this is how our the story of our spirits grow. So I hope that everyone who comes into my room will be able to understand the incident of why do we need to understand the spiritual entity. Why do we need to understand to make a research of our own path? There are spiritual paths, and the consequence of our action is our spiritual path. So what else can we learn from it? Do we need to be a monk to learn how to walk your spiritual path? No, you don't need to be a monk. You need to be yourself, but you need to understand that not to create suffer to other is already a reward to your life. Not to create a demand, because all the wanting in this world is giving you a disappointment. Why? Disappointment and the destructions. So every kind of wanting comes with the destructions. The more we want, the more we risk of not getting what we want. The more we risk of our own disappointment. So before those disappointments appear to your life, tone down your wanting. Wanting and need are different. If you don't get what the body needs, like food or air, you die. But your wanting is the secondary. So we always try to get what we want instead of trying to understand, live a simple life, uh, contain our wanting, and just get what we need. So if we are knowing how to control the wanting, our life will be simple. We will not create some kind of a sufferness to other people. For example, if your kids like to have a new iPhone, for example, the new iPhone will cost the parents, months and months of salary. But your kids want. But how can you supply all those new telephones to those wanting? If your kids doesn't get what they want, imagine what will they do. Every kind of wanting comes with destructions, right? So they will be mad at you. They will be trying to say something to hurt you, because you hurt them because they were disappointed. They were disappointed, and they hope that you will buy some new telephone for them, but you cannot. So the kids does not understand your reason. They only understand their reason. So this is the karma that create the memory that torture one another, and it will keep on pushing. So you don't need to imagine the next life, okay? So imagine one life. So I will give you one life. So when you are young, you push your mom and dad to buy games and buy toys for you. You get mad at your dad because of your disappointment. Once you have your own kids, it is the same as you have a newborn in a new life. Your kids will do that to you too. So what do you learn? You learn to understand kids, because you grow. Because I used to be that kids before. I used to don't know. So the karma push you to understand whom you love. The karma push you into the higher being. That's why becoming a parent, you become a higher being, and you have the duty to teach your children, because it is the duty of the parent to teach their children. So your experience of your knowing element is very crucial for the teaching. The experience of life is very important. So that's why we become a changed person. We become a new person. We become a better one, because of our soul understand more. So try to make your soul understand other soul. So that is how our soul can grow. So bad things in our past life keep on pushing us. It only means that it will keep on pushing you until you learn how the other soul feelings. They hurt you because of they don't know. So walk away from the person who don't know. If you can't help them, just walk away. So a lot of people ask me, how do I change my life? How do I manage the very, very bad environment around me? So because your mind is focused on something that is very bad. For example, if you in a workplace, and in your workplace, people or your boss or someone misunderstand you and try to push you and try to make fun of you, for example, and your mind stuck onto that moment. That moment might be only like 2 minutes of making fun of you, but you adopt that 2 minutes in your bedrooms, in the way you drive cars, you adopt all that 2 minutes everywhere you go in your life. So you expanding those 2 minutes into 20 hours. And whose fault is that? Our mind focus on the failures too much until all those 20 hours. Imagine that if you understand how to use that 20 hours to do productive thing, how many productive thing can you do? Everything is about our spirit, our mind. If you make your soul become positive enough to overcome them, is good. But I know that everywhere in the world will teach you how to be positive, right? But positivity cannot exist in some area that the hatred grow too big, right? So this is what you do. A new technique, using imaginary of something bad to continue with the negative force that you have in your heart. Something bad. What is something bad? For example, everything in this world has an end. It has a beginning and it has an end. The bad word from other people's mouth is like the junk that carries by the trash loads of a truck. So if you carry those junk in your truck back home, your home will be smelled with bad things, right? So what happens to the junk? The junk need to belong to the junkyard. So what happens when you go to junkyard? You dump all your junk. And what happens next? It happens when you use your mind to focus on that junk, the junk will become decayed and dismantled, and it will become the earth. It go back to the normal, the earth stage. So what does that mean? It means that everything has its cycle. So if you bring your junk into the real life, of course, you will decay, and you will be rotten with all those junk, right? So if you feel something bad within you, you look at the big pictures. You will see that all these, junk, once they disappear to the earth, compared to what you are focused that 2 minutes, it become a very, very small stuff. So instead of focus on something that you are sad in a very magnified ways, you zoom out and look at the big pictures of things. Look at the nature. Look at how nature work with all the bad things. Everything gone. So you understand that all you will minimize all those focus into reality. So once you know how to minimize it, all those mini problems, of course, it will become a dust to you once you have a bigger pictures of life. So try to, once you have something that is so painful, or you bring all this pain to back home, it is unhealthy to your family. Try to minimize it until it become a dust by thinking of the true nature of things, right? They were like the bad word is like another thing, is like a farting. People fart. If you stand in the farting area and you know that it's a farting, so what will you do with the farting? You can't do anything but walk away. So learn how to walk away, and you will learn how to manage unimportant thing. So people talk bad to you, it look like a farting. So if you know how to deal with bad words, deal with them just like the wind. It comes and it's gone. So if you do not, if you focus on, oh, who created that bad smell, you try to find the person who created it, and that is not healthy, right? It is their nature. They have a problems in their tummy. They have gas. What can you do with them? Is their nature, is their behavior. Their behavior always talk behind people, always talk bad about people, always make fun of people. They thought it was fun, that's why they made it. So if you stand near the farting people all the time, of course, you will need to learn how to walk away from them, and you need to learn how to not inhale it. And a lot of people ask me these questions because you are putting yourself in the bad environment. Walk away from bad environment, because you cannot help environment. You can't even change your environment, but we can change ourselves. We can't do anything with other people, but we can do everything with ourselves. So I hope that these sessions will allow you to understand, the path within a life and the path beyond a life. The path beyond a life is about creating your merit force. It's about creating, it's about sharing your abilities. Ability in terms of material, ability in terms of intelligence, ability to share. Because why? Because you can share, but you just give an excuse not to share. You just give an excuse to our personal wanting. So we don't need to share with money. We can share with time. We can share with our intelligence. There's a loads of things that we can share. Instead of if you have your mind to think about bad things that people cause to you, all that time, share it. Share your good time with other people. Make your time become a merit force, better than taking time curse other people, and that will cause you a vengeance morality towards other people. The vengeance will come back. You will win. Other people, once they bully you, they will get bullied no matter what, because karma cannot be erased. So it might not be as fast enough as you wish that it would be returned to them immediately. No, because karma is about life. It's about many, many lives. So it's just go on the next waiting list in their queue. So I hope that you will understand life that is further beyond a life, and because of this life happens something to you, it has something to do with the past one. If you want to understand more about past lives, I have 3 episodes of past life experience that is true, that all these people still living, and it also happens all around the world. And for those people who wants to know that if these things are real, there are research center in the US that try to seek all these past life incident and experience all around the world. So Google it up about reincarnations, and you have a loads of reports and studies. It has nothing to do with religion or beliefs. In every religion, every beliefs and not belief, there comes the story of people, from time to time they remember their past life and they can pinpoint everything with their past life loved ones and relatives and father and mother who did not pass away. They have telling all the truth as if they were once the member of that family, and only the secret within the family that they know. For example, they know what you like to eat. Only you know you like some of the things that different from other. They know even your behaviors. They know your collective things. So, and they are not, once they remember their past life, most of the case they were just like 4 to 5 years old. Not even a mature who try to think about something to lie to people for the benefit of themselves. They are just trying to come back to their loved ones because they are just 4 years old, but their soul are the knowing element that are so confused because last time they were just like at the age of 30 or 40 before they dies, and they comes back at a 4 years old life forms, and because of that unerased memory, they have shown us the evidence of past life. Very, very few of that happens, but it happens, in a big, in a redundancy enough that covers all the territory in this world of people who can do that. Everywhere in this world have this kind of incident. What does it mean? It means that God has from time to time release one or two in each place around the world as a jigsaw of the person who seek the spiritual path. Only the one that seek spiritual path will find it. I am not the master that can help the world, no. But if you are seeking, that's why you guys are here in my channel, right? You guys want to listen to something, to do some kind of at least planning of what you are going to do in this life that affects the long-term things in the future. If you are an aged person, it's even more important to understand that there is nothing to be feared, because when death comes to us, we can carry something to the next one. Your skill and your merit. And that's it. So how to create your skill? Your skill is to work hard. Work on something that is productive in life. And you can carry all these productive thought into the far future. Any kind of skill is good skill. Except the killing skill, of course. So that is not a good skill. The skill that creates suffer for other people is a bad skill. So we will just need to unlearn it by the repentancy. And once we repent on something that we are extremely doing bad things, and we truly repent, this kind of repent will innate in your moral as fear to do sin, fear to do something bad, fear to kill people. Because of this kind of repentance, it makes you feels that the new versions of yourself, the new versions of your ideas will encounter with your retributions that comes back to you. When you kill, you will get killed. So someone will be bullied you, and until that day, you will learn how to give up, learn how to not fighting back, learn how to forgive, and learn how to walk away. And that is the last life And that is the only way that you can exit the karmic cycle of your own deed. So this is how also in the universe get elevated, not only this earth. So also get elevated when they learn something. So what is knowing element wants? What is soul want? What is the spirit wants? Everything is about knowing and learning how to be better. So it is definitely an enlightenance. So the soul is walking towards the light of your own enlightenings. I am not here to teach you any kind of religion. I am here to teach you how to not walk in a wrong way, and you can find your own enlightenance in your way. Because when we walk up, to the mountain, there is no one way to walk. There are multiple ways. You can come in from the west, from the east, from the south, from the north, but you walk up the mountain, right? As long as we know the skill to walk up and avoid the obstacles in life, you will find your own path. No one is going to tell you A, B, C, D. In the past, yes, but the ability of our knowing element, our growing soul, our intelligence, tell us in this time of the earth year that, we are not able to believe in one book or blind faith anymore. We are finding the reason, and that reason makes us knows how to grow. There are also a lot of things that involve in the spiritual knowledge. So this is just the basic part of how to prevent bad things happens to your life, and how to create good thing or magnetic force to your luck and success in life. So these are the basics. And if you understand your basic, you will be able to understand how to behave in the first place. And after that, you will be able to discover the longer phase of the spiritual life. For example, meditations is one of the things. And I put the meditations in my past episodes. And for those of you who wants to learn anything, just let me know. Just type in your questions here. And today, the path, why do we need to find the path in our lives? I hope that you understand the basic why we need to find our path already. So I hope that these things will make you learn something. And is there any person with any questions? I will let you ask, and from the panel of the comment. So if you have anything to ask, please type in. I have 4 viewers coming in. I don't know who are you, but I hope that you can show yourself. Who are you? You can, if you are Thai people, you can type in Thai. I can read the Thai language. Oh, and one more thing. There are also some people thinking that, I'm trying to be a prophet, that tell myself to be a holy person and to try to teach people to be enlightened or to lead people to enlighten, I will tell you that you understand wrongly. No one can give someone an enlightenance. An enlightenance needs a personal striving, the realizations of your own needs to find the spiritual path. That is why when I found my way, I found my grandmaster. My grandmaster is the teacher. That is the same thing that where, if you want to find some knowledge like this, where can you find? That is why there are monks and temples. There are churches and preachers. These people is spiritual guidance. There must be somebody, somewhere, someplace that people, once they think about spiritual enhancement, they need to go into a certain place and has ability to learn. I am one of the options that teach my own true experience in life, that I can fix my problems in life, and all those problems comes into a practice that I will use this knowledge to help other people. When other people walk towards my guidance, they are also understand how to lift their pain and how to get out of it. So this is why there must be more people like me. But the world does not have people who devoted. So instead of trying to be well known, no, I'm trying to reach out to the person who wants to know, wants to have the knowledge of how to get out of their suffer, to have a chance to understand how to get out. So this is why I am here. This is why I am doing the YouTube channel. And that is also why you comes to listen to my, spiritual channel, isn't it? So person who seek is a person who finds. I seek, I find. When I found, I share. So this is my merit. So the merit, I do not give you money, but I give you my whole life knowledge. That is my sharing, my merit. And I am sharing it in a massive way. And for those people who join me in this room, if you cannot help other people, share my story, share my Facebook and YouTube teaching to other people. So that is a kind of sharing too. We call the bridge of merit. You bridge me to other people, and this bridge of merit will help if it can, but if it is not the time, do not worry. So if people don't like or is not their time to exercise the spiritual knowledge, it is not their time. They will ignore me anyway, right? They will ignore this anyway. So the person who seek need to find a place that they will extract the knowledge and find their own research and informations. And I'm ready. If you have any questions, just type in your questions. Even after this, when I'm not live anymore, you can even type your questions here, and I will come to find, and I will read every questions, and I will try to answer every questions that you posted. Vincent, I'm American. Okay. All right. I think it will be all for today, and I hope that my teaching today, my live sessions today, although it is not so very many people because it is very new, and I'm very happy that these live sessions can be seen by someone. and I hope that you guys can learn something today. And for the next topic, please follow my YouTube. I will try to upload something every day so that you guys can learn. Okay, before I go, I will ask the power of the universe and God to bless everyone in this room with good health, good luck, and prosperity. Ananta Chit.